Hello. All right. Let's try this again. Let's see.
Yeah, it is. It's just
You and your electric personality.
And all right. Oh, hello. Hello, Tucson. And
Hello. I'm Threat.
we're just going to have to look at each other.
Yeah.
How are you, Thrash?
Okay.
Tucson, Game 9. It's 5 o'clock on Saturday. Dust Devil, how's it going? Thank you. I appreciate that. All right.
All right.
so-
We're about to get started here in just a few minutes. We're going to run down the rosters real quick so we can get that out of the way.
All right, so skating for Humboldt Roller Derby, the Redwood Rollers in black. Number 2, Bianca Swagger. Number 2-1, Zombie Stardust. 218, Purple Sticky Punch. 222, Too Legit. 239, Nacho Amiga. 26, Atreyu. 37, Catastrophe. Number 4, Ferocious Dimples. Number 420, Hotbox. 423, Peaches and Scream. 44, Rotten to Liqueur. Number 5, PK Rollin'. Number 700, Sprocket Rocket. Number 80, Mod Behavior. And the captain in number 6, Barium.
All right. And skating in white is the SoCal Derby Kraken. We have 1011 Rogue Rammer, 1022 Heartlin, 11 Riled Up, 1211 Shelly Shocked, 128 Elise the Kraken, 13 Mighty Ducky, 1836 Bruce Lee, 1935 Margaret Bleed, 2000 Electric Piranha, 303 Wreckham Ralph, the captain, 328 Hollywood Hiplash, 33 Vermilion Valker, 360 Isabel Ringer. I love that. That was a great name. 389 Stiletto, 408 Taffy, 7 Slamurai, and 934 Nocturne Alley.
All right, and we are off and running. Jam number 1, we're starting out with Atreyu for the Redwood Rollers. And that looks like number 1, I believe. Riled Up on the jammer line. And just like that, pack was moving. We had lead, we had a jam, and we've got a point. 1 point on the board. SoCo.
Real quick jam, real quick point.
And for those keeping track at home, Humboldt, the Redwood Rollers, skating in their black jerseys and uniforms with red trim. And SoCo Derby, the Kraken, in white with purple and green.
And we have Hotbox, not to be confused with Hot Bow, on the line.
Yeah, rub it in. Up against, it looks like Heartland. Hotbox
Hotbox
picking up lead. Rotten to Liqueur coming back. I think it looked like, they had a track cut, but did not draw. Hotbox comes through, puts 4 points on the board, calls the jam.
All right, if this pace keeps up, looks like we're just going to have real quick low-scoring jams.
I do love a good defensive battle. I am enjoying also SoCal Derby, taking advantage of the hockey box.
Not many teams have done that so far during the tournament, but it is the new rules. I mean, I personally like a good sit between my jams. Oh, Sprocket takes the outside and has no opposition and takes that lead. Both jammers on their scoring pass. Let's going to see if both jams are going to be able to get some points on the board. SoCal looking to get their first points right now, coming in. And I think that was just in time. It was. Humboldt keeps SoCal scoreless.
So that's 2 straight leads for Humboldt. Gives 4 points there. And it looks like we've got a SoCal pivot sent to the box. Believe that's Hollywood Hiplash, if I'm not mistaken. I could be. Yes, I am mistaken. That's Vermilion Valker. On the jammer line, Too Legit.
Two.
Versus. Looks like Shell Shocked.
And Too Legit goes in on the inside, picks out of that fast lead. Shell Shock still trying to get through the pack. Humboldt's giving her a lot of problems there.
That's the third lead in a row. Two Legits approaching for points inside line. Just a bit of a toe hop. Knocked out, though, and recycled back. Two Legit coming back for points. SoCal still trying to pick up initial pass. Two Legit comes through, puts 2-2. 4 points on the board. Man, there's so many good 2-2s.
Equals 4.
Love it.
Oh, Two Legit comes in screaming mad there, takes out a blocker, but is unable to get through. We've got a toe stop loose.
And
hopefully somebody grabs that.
This is going to be a power jam. SoCal.
Oh. Making it look easy there.
Two Legit headed to the box with a forearm for a moment, so that'll be the power jam. SoCal's bringing the offensive help. Outside lane 3.
This is a good opportunity for SoCal to try to put some more points up on the board, keep this game close.
SoCal able to use a little bit of a sweep on the backside. Not quite able to spring quite yet.
Sunbelt blockers are not letting that jammer through at all. And they're recycling her back. And we're back up to full strength for both teams. Two Legits trying to fight, get through, get some more points put up on the board for her team.
And to tell you how smooth it was, I didn't even notice Vermilion Valkers now the jammer. Looks like SoCal had a successful star pass like 2 passes ago. Just noticed it on this side. Able to put 4 points on the board, both teams. Two Legit working on the inside line. Great move by the jammer there. Pressing the blockers into the curve, taking the inside line, putting the points. That is a 12-4 jam. 12-8 jam. Let's go 12-7. I can read the board. I've done it all day.
And you got to hand it to Two Legit. She spent time in the box and still managed to end up with more points in that jam. That's when you know you've succeeded.
Nothing to sneeze at if you're the coaching staff. On the jammer line in white, riled up in black. Number 5, PK Rowland. Riled up taking the outside line, giving just enough room to clear their own jam blockers.
Both packs are holding tight.
Riled up, picks up leads. SoCal. It was such a good lunch. All right, jammer's coming.
It's like a giant octopus. Kraken.
Yeah. All right, riled up, pushing forward, stretching the 2 defenders forward. Bridge drop, out of play. 4 points on the board. And it looks
Everybody's
like
now
Zombie
on their
Stardust.
scoring pass. Stardust coming in. Heard a whistle, but it wasn't a call-off. Stardust gives a little quick twist around, sneaks by on the inside, picks up 4 points.
And Riled Up's headed to the box, so after the star pass, Zombie Stardust is the jammer for Humboldt and has a power jam for the Redwood Rollers.
With a good 48 seconds left on the clock, this is a great opportunity for Humboldt to extend this lead.
2 more blockers in the front. Sacrifice unsuccessful. 3 points on, 1 unearned point.
There's a pass, no penalty, so she lost one of those opportunities there.
Pack set up after turn 2 on the backside straightaway. Blocked out of bounds is Zombie, coming back in for more.
Both teams back up to full strength with just a couple seconds left in this jam. Plenty of opportunity to score some points here.
Both jammers back on the track. See what's going to end up happening to the pack. See Riled Up coming through. That's 2 minutes. Zombie came out on the outside. 3 points up. Looks like Riled Up puts 4. All right, so that puts us at 22 and a half minutes left in the first period. Redwood Rollers from Humboldt County, 26. The Kraken from SoCal Derby, 16. And on the jammer line, looks like 1-0-2-2. That's Heartland up against number 2-6. That's Atreyu. Pile up in the start box. Looks like we've got a back block call. It's going to send a SoCal blocker to the box. Atreyu cycled back to the jammer line. Nice outside, inside, just split the pack. Picks up lead.
Tula Core gave some awesome offense there, opened up a lane right in the center, and Atreyu was able to capitalize on that and get right through. But Atreyu really didn't need much help there. She jumped through right on the inside, picks up another easy 4 points.
I got to call a game with Atreyu yesterday. Really, really good moves on the inside line. Exactly what was used there, like you mentioned. Multiplayer block's going to go ahead and send number 6. Bury him into the box for Humboldt. Atreyu's got 4 more points on the board.
Now, if you're following along at home, a multiplayer can actually be given to any of the blockers that was involved in the multiplayer, but only to one of them.
What's the good old rule? Stay away from the ref, because usually they're going to call the closest person.
Absolutely.
We have initial pass cleared by SoCal. Atreyu's putting up more points. Atreyu saw the jammer. This looks like Electric Piranha taking the star. Calls off the jam. And on the jammer line, that looks like 360 Isabel Ringer. Up against Hotbox, 420.
SoCal Wall is holding strong, keeping Hotbox back. Hotbox trying to go on the outside, find a lane, finds it, gets through, but takes a big hit from a SoCal blocker, goes down, comes back in. She had position on the 2 blockers in the back, but they were hoping they were going to trick her into having to recycle all the way back, but she didn't fall for it. Big jammer hit there, taken by Hotbox by the SoCal jammer.
Isabel Ringer coming out with lead, has 4 points on the board, approaching the pack again. Calling to the blockers, get to the front. Passes 1, I believe. Yep, 1 point on the board, SoCal. So that is a 5-point jam. Puts us at 38, Humboldt 21, SoCal. On the jammer line, Stiletto versus Sprocket Rocket. And we've got an empty RollerCon penalty box. All the blockers out jockeying for position right off the jammer line.
A lot of shuffling there right off the jammer line.
And looks like a track cut is going to send Humboldt's pivot to the box, but Humboldt has lead jammers, Sprocket Rocket.
Stiletto still trying to make it through the pack up front, but those Humboldt blockers are keeping her in. Looks like they got a no pack there. Oh, no. Stiletto's going to be going to the box.
So this is going to give Humboldt a power jam, 30 seconds.
That is one way to get around a good defensive wall, is to just get a penalty, so they actually just let you leave.
I know a lot of coaches who would probably disagree, but we'll let them do that on Twitter. Rocket comes through, puts 4 points on the board. Beautiful little move over on turn 2 on the earlier pass there. Sprocket actually shoved off of 2 of her own blockers' hips to go through. A nice use of your teammates. Sprocket pushing outside lane 1, inside lane 2. Meeting the SoCal tripod.
Oh, some great offense there from Tula Core again, trying to get Sprocket Rocket out, and does succeed. Sprocket Rocket gives a little twirl there and escapes the pack, picking up 4 points.
Stiletto coming in, avoid the track cut. Able to stay in play. There's Sprocket, 1 more to pass. Nice physical play there. 4 points on the board.
Tula Core giving some amazing offense, constantly opening up holes for their jammer.
SoCal able to spring their jammer. Star Stash was successful. Sprockets are coming though, called off the jam. So both teams coming in, obvious, this is the WFTDA sanctioned bout. So we're looking at Humboldt walking in this weekend at number 111 worldwide. And SoCal Derby at 137 on the WFTDA's most recent rankings. On the jammer line, Too Legit versus Riled Up. Too Legit, inside line, lane one, just able to pass hips from the inside blocker. The rest was easy. Lead jammer, Humboldt.
She just completely blasted through on that inside lane.
Too Legit trying to take advantage of being lead jammer second time in a row. Slides, stays inbound, 4 points on the board.
Passes all the blockers upright, even though she fell at the end. Doesn't matter as long as you're through. But that's always the worst thing about jamming. You get through the wall, you think, oh, I've done it. You take a little spill, and then you got a wall right in front of you again.
And we have seen a fair amount of reforming in front. All of the teams this weekend have been very, very good at that. Too Legit coming through. Too Legit on the earlier pass had just a monster move. Both the two blockers were locked up. Shoved straight in, hitting the both of them. It was one of those kind of a win-win. Either draw the multiplayer block or make them drop their hands and just move one out of the way.
Yep. And SoCal did a great job of recycling Too Legit. She went literally from turn 3 all the way to the apex after turn 4. That is a lot of lane to have to recover in a jam.
Catastrophe with a crazy penalty I haven't seen often. Catastrophe thought she'd drawn the cut, cycled back, the pack moved forward, ref called for failure to return, or out of play. So headed to the box, so this is going to give SoCal a 2-blocker advantage as they send Heartland to the line up against PK Rowland.
Another great opportunity for SoCal to get that lead and start putting some points on the board, close this gap that's forming with Humboldt.
And we're off. PK Rowland taking the inside line. Heartland outside, inside. There it is. Lead jammers, SoCal. Heartland approaching. PK Rowland cycled out on the outside line. Heartland coming through inside on the curve. Jammer's favorite move. 4 points on the board. And PK Rowland able to come through the pack. Star Stash was successful, so able to come through. Clears initial. Heartland sees them coming. 4 points on the board for SoCal. So that looks like an 8-point jam for the Kraken.
Definitely something the Kraken needs currently.
On the jammer line, that looks like Atreyu versus Isabel Ringer.
SoCal is down a blocker.
So they're going to go ahead and set up just off the jammer line in the tripod to go ahead and catch Atreyu coming. Humboldt's blockers come back from the pivot line skating up. Going to give a little bit of chaos. Atreyu inside line, toe stop, hop, lead jammer.
Isabel Ringer still pushing that Humboldt line out, gets them to the no pack, and is able to get off of her initial. Everybody's coming in for scoring.
Atreyu with a nice move, came through the pack, small transition, looked up, called the jam, 4 points. And we're going to see Riled Up versus Hotbox. Everybody's back on the trout. Well, never mind. One SoCal blocker in the box for a moment.
I do not think that player is going to be in that box too much longer. All right, Hotbox just sneaks right on by on the outside, takes an easy lead there. Both teams now back up to full strength.
Textbook sweep opened up that lane 4. Hotbox now has second in the row. Lead jammer for Humboldt. Yeah,
Hotbox gets that back block.
So we're going to go ahead and have a power jam for SoCal and a 2-minute jam. No longer lead.
All
so
right.
Riled Up comes through, able to push through, clears initial pass.
And is ready to score.
Humboldt's now got a blocker, a pivot, and a jammer in the penalty box, so we've got a nice trifecta there. Riled Up comes through, takes advantage, but is headed to the box also with a back block.
You got to be careful. You got to make sure when your target You gotta hit on the side. You can't hit the back anymore. The Whippet has gotten really strict about back blocks.
So just when I was going to say Hotbox was happy to have a power jam, Hotbox gets called on a penalty, head to the box. Now we're going to have a jammer switch. Riled Up's back out.
The Hotbox is already up because Riled Up wasn't sitting in the box too long, and like everybody knows, when you got two jammers in the box, the first jammer gets to get up, and the second jammer only has to sit for as long as the first jammer was sitting.
So Hotbox back on the track after the abbreviated penalty. Riled Up looks like no rush to go pushing through. I say that just as she manages to clear 3 blockers. Hotbox is through. 4 points. Humboldt.
Got a very spread out pack here. Jammers looking to take advantage of that.
And after 2 minutes, that's the natural end of the jam. Looks like 3 more points at the end for both teams. 7-3 jam after that 2 minutes. That's the kind of jam that a jammer just doesn't like to remember, but the blockers, they're always real proud to remember that kind of one. So that gave us the first time we had both jammers go into the box. Hopefully we're not going to see too much more of that. On the jammer line, Heartland versus Rocket Rocket.
When you got the 2 jammers in the box, it definitely opens up interesting strategies that have to go into Element because, yeah, now the jammer's gone, you can get ready, maybe get your jammer out of the pack, but then you have to be immediately ready to pick the opposing jammer right back up.
Absolutely. Sprocket Rocket clears the pack, picks up lead for Humboldt. Rotten to Liqueur back on the track as pivot. That's the jam. 3 points going up for Humboldt. So the game, we're seeing those fast call-offs again, like we had talked about a couple other bouts in there. Check it out on YouTube. But we're seeing those real quick passes, so that is giving us, going into jam number 14, a score of 82-32. On the jammer line, looking to add points for both their teams. 2-2.
Humboldt definitely has a legit lead at this point.
Would you say it's too legit by chance?
It's almost too legit.
Isabel Ringer lined up in white, too legit lined up in the black. Isabel Ringer comes through, picks up leads, SoCal. Pack picks up speed, everybody's coming into turn 3. Here come the jammers.
Ooh.
Call off is good. 1 point, SoCal.
That is an effective fast call off.
Isabel had one of those anticipation moments we all have. How many points? 1 point? Take it.
1 finger in the air, success.
And official review called by Humboldt. So as we take the official review, I want to go ahead and introduce our officials on this bout. So we have Heads will roll, Flourish and Blocks, Toad, Rhodes Warrior, Momster, Baconator, Geo Knitter, Witchy Wife, Fickle Bitch, Dysentery, Chunk Rock Girl, Doesn't Matter, Dread Hockley, Elemental, PK Biddy, Captain Left Hook, Joey Mojo, and Mass. And I'm going to say this a couple times in this game because this is something that needs to be taken note of. Geo Knitter is officiating their 700th game.
Let's get a round of applause. That is a dedication to a game that does not pay you.
No doubt. So as always, we always want to show all our appreciation for all of our officials, all of the volunteers, everybody who comes out and helps, all the skaters who show up. It's not news to anybody that Derby's an expensive hobby, but it's one we all love and we all need each other. So thank you to everybody out there. On that note, go buy some merch.
Stuff to talk about. The track maintenance crew is Sylvia Earl and Sandra Dale Bobbitt. I love politically relevant news.
So you hear it often here in Tucson. Big appreciation for the track maintenance crew as well. Super efficient out there with their yellow bands on the legs.
All right, so that official review called by Humboldt was requesting a back block on the white jammer to one of the black blockers. No black blocker will be sent to the box.
Okay.
So they will lose their official review for this half.
So no call stands. On the jam, we're looking at PK Roland and Heartland. PK has come through, picked up lead for Humboldt, now picked up 4 points, calls the jam. 4-0 there for the Redwood Rollers. And
all right, so it's going to be Atreyu facing off against Isabella Ringer.
And Atreyu so far with 2 out of 3, 66% lead percentage. Big thanks to Loose Change here doing the production and the stat tracking for us.
Great mathing, Loose Change.
Atreyu comes coming to the backside, but this is going to be lead jammer SoCal. That's Isabel Ringer.
And Atreyu's going to the box.
So lead jammer, a nice thing. A lead jam, power jam, take it all day long.
If SoCal can get their jammer out, this is going to be a great opportunity for them to score some points and close in on that lead that Humboldt has. Humboldt just loses another blocker, which is just making it better and better.
So as a jammer, what could you love more than a power jam? A pack advantage as well. Isabel working inside, lines open. Everybody committed to the outside. 4 points on the board for the Kraken.
Nice sweep there. Nice offensive maneuver for SoCal.
Everybody running back, trying to stay off the immediate curve. Little offensive help coming for Isabel. Inside line. That's good. 4 more on the board.
Both jammers showing some fancy footwork there, but SoCal not falling for Atreyu's.
Atreyu able to stay inbounds with Star in hand, with the Star Stash clearing initial pass. Isabel saw him coming, calls off the jam.
Isabel gives a big old hit there and just says, I'm done. I got my points, I did my hits, I'm done.
On the jammer line, riled up against Hotbox. And looks like we've got an empty RollerCon penalty box. Outside line, almost open. There it is, riled up. Lead jammer SoCal. So there's back-to-back leads for SoCal. Kraken's got to take advantage, put some more points on the board. Here comes Hotbox. Let's see.
Oh, it looked like there was kind of a call off there, but I don't think the hips got hit twice there. A little bit of a hesitation, and then they called it off.
So that's a tough move on that inside curve, especially coming in hot and fast.
And it does.
Kept balance, but 1 point on the board for either team. Heartland versus Sprocket Rocket. Just a mash of blockers right on the jam line. Sprocket Rocket moving to the outside. Heartland moving inside. Sprocket's knocked out of bounds. Heartland picks up lead. That's 3 of the last 3. Lead jammers, SoCal.
Sprocket Rocket actually waited for the out-of-play call, and SoCal got it and then just kind of forgot that there was a jammer there.
It's kind of the risk of having a blocker run back, is that concern of, is the blocker going to get back into the defensive formation before the jammer gets there?
Yeah. You've got jammers that are, they naturally work on a quick boost of speed, and then you're trying to maintain, am I still in the pack? Where is the jammer? And sometimes you lose them.
Good downhill skating there. 3 points on the board. This is going to put 2 legit up against Isabel Ringer on the jammer line. So far, Isabel Ringer's got the highest scoring jam, 14 points. Excuse me, is 14 points on the board. Going to see if that can be recreated, but Too Legit's going to go ahead and do her best to make sure that doesn't happen. Picks up lead. Track cut called against the SoCal defender.
Too Legit coming in low, does some quick footwork, gets around all the blockers.
Isabel Ringer
Picks
with
up
the
4.
power push in the fronts. Brings out Too Legit, calls off the jam, saves the energy for everybody chasing the pack. That's a 4-point pass for Humboldt. 91-51, 3.5 minutes left in the first half. PK Rowland versus Riled Up on the jam line. So it looks like Humboldt in the black jerseys is going to have a slight pack advantage over SoCal in the white. One blocker. PK with a great inside move. Again, there was a nice sweep by Humboldt on the inside.
SoCal attempts a sweep. They kind of hold on to it, but Humboldt is just able to recover and get right back in front to hold that jammer in. Jammer goes down and Humboldt goes back to recycle. This is going to be a lot of track that Riled Up is going to have to recover.
PK was using the inside line, not quite open. Now just pushing the blockers forward. Out of plays called. That's going to be good for 4 points.
Riled Up tries to do the star pass, but Humboldt just goes ahead and takes out SoCal's pivot.
Always one of those moments as a blocker. They just adore being able to hold the jammer right there, keeping a star away. PK, though, not concerned. Puts 4 more on the board.
A little underhand star pass there is successful. The pivot does get out, but unfortunately doesn't get past the pack. And Humboldt just swallows her back up.
Nice move on the outside line to clear initial.
A little bit of toe stop spin there.
That's Rogue Rammer as the jammer of record. PK calls off the jams, gonna put 2 points on the board at the end versus 0 for SoCal.
I'm gonna tell you a secret, Barth. One of my favorite things when I'm blocking is to see that star pass coming and just be one-on-one with that jammer and that pivot and just keep them apart. It is a very satisfying feeling.
So the difficulty in being a jammer is then switching sometimes. Okay, you're not, the star pass isn't there, back to jammer mode.
Yep.
We've seen that a couple times in this game. On the line again, Atreyu adding to the streak. That's 3 straight leads for Humboldt. Up against Heartland's back out for SoCal. Atreyu approaching the pack. Lane 1 completely
big
closed.
hit on Atreyu, so she calls it off.
That was a fantastic hit by Slamurai. That applied enough pressure in addition to the jammer coming in. Only 2 points on the board. And we've got triple digits now for Humboldt. 103 to SoCal's 51. On the jammer line, Hotbox versus Isabel Ringer.
All right, both jammers try to take the inside. Both jammers getting nasty hits there, but Hotbox is able to muscle her way through and picks up lead.
Reckham Ralph was doing a great job trying to hold Hotbox. The problem was Reckham Ralph got moved just a bit to the right. That opened up the inside. That allowed Hotbox to get out and get lead. Hotbox is able to stay inbounds. Passes the pack. 4 points on the board. Pile up on turn 3.
Whole pack goes down, opens up a nice 2-lane gap for Isabella to just squeak through, pick up those 4 points.
Hotbox coming through. SoCal almost looked like they had a 4-wall set up, a flat 4. Isabel Ringer down on the inside of the track, looks to the scoreboard, and then the jam ref. And that was the rolling whistle, so if I'm not mistaken, that's the first half already.
Wow, that was an action-packed, quick first half.
This is incredibly fast. So we're going to take a little bit of time here. Go ahead and catch a breath. Remember, on halftime, go ahead and check out the merch. Most of the teams have brought merch. So go support the local teams. Support Tucson Roller Derby. And actually,
the red shirt's right there.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a few moments. We'll be back in about 14 or so minutes, maybe 12-ish, around there. Go get a drink. All right. Coming into the second half, we're looking at a score of 111. Humboldt County, 55 for SoCal Derby. Not a bad start.
And we got just a couple seconds left before the whistle starts, and we get right back to Derby.
Walking on sunshine. It's a good song to come back from a half from. All right, 5 seconds start. Here we go. Number 700 in black for Humboldt County. Sprocket Rocket. Number 11 in white for SoCal Derby. Riled Up.
We got some skaters falling down inside of the pack there.
Pile up on turn 1, going into the curve of turn 2. Riled Up, trying to get past, clears hips, picks up lead.
Both jammers now on their scoring pass.
Riled Up came out of the pack, was kind of like, okay, got that done. All of a sudden looks back and Sprocket's, 10, 15 feet behind. Riled Up hits the pack, calls off the jam, but no points on the board. So good job on getting the lead there, and good job on getting the force off with no points. Heartland versus PK Rowland. Second jam of the second half of the 9th game of the second day of the 13th Dust Devil.
2019 year.
Third tournament of the WFTDA recognized. And we're off. PK Rowland. Offensive help coming up. Take up. Left, right. Drops the offense. Splits the pack.
Both walls still doing a great job keeping the jammers in, but PK Rowland is able to manage to get out and grab lead.
Rotten Tulicore very pleased with her work. Drew a track cut on another blocker in the pack, so we're going to have a pack advantage for Humboldt. PK Rowland taking the outside line, lane 4. It's closed. Lane 3. SoCal just completely reforming in front now. No pack. And there's a release. 4 points on the board. SoCal trying to clear initial pass. PK Rowland to the outside, to the inside, takes the sweep. Runs into the brace 2 on turn 3. But Rowland's called on a back block. Power jam SoCal.
SoCal's got to get their jammer out so they can start putting points on the board. And they do succeed.
Well done. Heartland's out. Initial pass. Everybody's setting up around turn 3, turn 4.
Humboldt is ready to receive the jammer.
SoCal coming in, all kinds of offensive help.
Oh, they opened up a nice, huge section of the track on the outside, but unfortunately the jammer went on the inside. Communication is always key, especially when you're doing those big offensive sweeps.
So we've got a forearm penalty. We've got a back block penalty. Got a couple people heading to the box. But we've got 4 points on the board for the Kraken.
Although SoCal did execute that sweep beautifully. Timing was great. Jammer was in a good position.
Good move by the 4 blockers there. We're going to finish up the 2-minute jam. PK Rowland's back on the track, putting the points on, 4 points up, and that's the 2-minute jam.
8-4, Humboldt.
So it looks like 4 more came up, so it's actually 8-8.
8-8.
That puts us at 119 for the Redwood Rollers from Humboldt. 63 for the Kraken from SoCal Derby. On the jammer line, Too Legit versus Isabel Ringer. Both teams have a blocker in the box, so we're going to have 3-on-3 blocking.
Isabella able to squeeze through on the outside, grabs lead.
Pack picks up speed at turn 1. Pile up on turn, coming in turn 1. Low block called on number 7, Slamurai.
Pack has sped up to some incredible speed there. And looks like 2 points for SoCal, 0 points for Humboldt.
Isabel Ringer having a quick moment with the jam ref. I think it was Isabel had already gotten caught by the blocker, was trying to call off at that moment. Kind of made for an awkward little moment of, this is what I'm doing. Jam is called off. Hotbox versus Riled Up. Slamurai still in the box for SoCal. Hotbox able to push the 3 SoCal blockers to the front. Get some offensive help. That's good for lead. Humboldt.
Hotbox receives a hit and gives it just equally and is able to capture that lead.
Hotbox reapproaching, getting ready for points. Inside lines closed. Outside lane 4 pushing. That's good. 4 points on the board. Riled up, still working, taking the inside line.
Takes a big hit. Riled trying to shake it off, get back in this jam.
Rotten to Accord, this is the second game I've called for Humboldt. Quickly becoming one of my favorite blockers.
Definitely a legit blocker.
Absolutely. Hard-hitting blocker there. Hotbox is certainly going to agree with me, putting up 4 points. Appreciating all teamwork's help. Hotbox able to push the tripod, split it up on the curb. 4 more. Star pass is successful. That's going to be 2-0-0-0. Electric Piranha is now the jammer for the Kraken. Hotbox clears through, was looking for one more set of hips, calls out the jam, 4 points. Timeout, SoCal. So just as fast as that first half was, second half is not slowing down at all.
No, not at all. Pace is definitely being maintained.
So it also looks like in the second half here, just counting helmets out there real quick. Okay. Loose Change, our producer, did point out, looks like they've been trading off lead on each of them. Of course, lead was lost on one of the jams due to the penalty, but both teams coming in, controlling the clock. The big thing here is, and this is no news to anybody, it's 135 Humboldt, 65 Kraken. SoCal's got to figure out how to get some more points on the board there while still holding Humboldt. Can't be trading off those 4-4 jams.
Definitely having less points than the other team is not a good thing, Barth. You are correct.
You know, to win the game, the team with the most points has the best chance.
You gotta sports those sports.
Heartland versus Atreyu. Sports.
All right, both jammers taking a nice little jump there, having to cross the whole box there to get to the pack.
Old school pack set up on the pivot line to start. Everybody's mashed up into the curve. Somebody's going to come out of this, and there's Atreyu.
Atreyu pops out, gets a little offense, keeps going, grabs lead.
Atreyu was working against Slamurai on the front side. Slamurai had position, slipped just enough, though. Atreyu picks up lead, calls off the jam. Heartland was hot, about 2-3 feet behind.
And neither jammer was anywhere near the pack, so definitely no opportunity to score there.
Too Legit versus Isabel Ringer. Ringer hopping between 2 SoCal blockers, trying to take a little bit of the distraction from Humboldt. Too Legit, though, is able to come outside line, just around, picks up lead. That's the 3rd straight for Humboldt in the second half. Barium headed to the box for Humboldt for a pack disadvantage.
Too Legit comes around the outside, takes a little spill. As she recovers, does not go back behind the blockers that had position on her, and she's going to pull a cut.
So Isabel Ringer's going to come in and have a power jam. Nice penalty kill already, though. Humboldt recycled Isabel so far back on that. That was a good, 50, 60 feet just to get back on the track.
That's going to be a multiplayer on Humboldt. And it's going to be another Humboldt blocker going to the box.
Isabel helping out the ref crew there, making sure I can't move my arm, drawing the penalty.
SoCal doing a great job of grabbing a goat there to give their jammer an easy score there. She's going to score automatically 3 points because of the 2 in the box.
And the 2 blockers on gives 4 points, and Too Legit came out had eyes on, made the shot at Isabel Ringer, just enough to try to slow her down. Too Legit's back on the track, though. Picks up 4 points.
Too Legit takes hit after hit after hit, but still manages to sneak right on by on the inside.
Both jammers approaching. Too Legit takes the hop on the apex. Isabel working the outside into the inside. There's the sweep again. SoCal able to hold all the black jerseys to the outside line. Opens up lane 1 and 4 points.
And that's where communication really comes in. You get the jammer going one direction, get the offense going in the opposite direction, and then you open up those holes.
Too Legit adding again. 2 points plus 2 points. 4 more on the board. Isabel Ringer trying to pick up points at the end. 3 points with the 2-minute end versus no points on that last final part of the pass.
Humboldt sending one to the box.
On the jammer line, Sprocket Rocket versus Electric Piranha. If I'm not mistaken, Electric Piranha's taken a couple star passes. It looks like the first time lined up on the jam line.
The official's doing a great job of keeping up pace with this very fast bout.
False start avoided. Blocker did yield position, so everybody's still out from the beginning. Electric Piranha trying to push the Humboldt defenders forward, trying to split the blockers. Picks up lead. Reform right in front, though, and out.
Looks like we're going to see another very fast-paced jam here. Humboldt does a great job of slowing down SoCal does a great job of slowing down one of the Humboldt blockers, keeping the pace short, and is able to grab that point.
Piranha came around that curve. It was that move we saw earlier. It's a little difficult. Coming in hot on the curve, trying to maintain control, but call off the jam. That time it was successful, putting 1 point on the board for the Kraken. Correction, that was Humboldt, not SoCal. PK Rowland versus Heartland. PK had a wide open lane 1 in vision. However, SoCal blocker was on the side, pushed out. PK's got out. So that's one of those fun bang-bang plays on the curve. Couldn't see it. The SoCal jammer actually picked up lead but was reabsorbed just barely. PK got out further, did not have lead. Jam's called off, no points. Too Legit versus Isabel Ringer. Outside line is good. Number 360, Isabel Ringer, lead jammer.
Oh, Too Legit got a Too Legit cut call there.
That's going to give Isabel Ringer power jam for SoCal, as well as a 1-blocker pack advantage. Coming around turn 3, going to try to take advantage, getting some offensive help.
Isabel taking the whip, using it successfully to get that speed to take the inside lane and score her 4 points.
Fantastic jamming. Not only took that whip for the speed, but was able to stay up when the Humboldt blockers were hitting on the way. Able to maintain speed, back into the pack again. Isabel's pushing forward. Knocked out of bounds, recycled.
SoCal's got a very fast Too Legit coming in. They just managed to prepare for her right as she made contact.
Humboldt blocker headed to the box on a direction penalty. Jammer's being stymied a bit. There we go. Isabel's able to put up 4 more points. Illegal position called against SoCal blocker. 3-2-8. That is Hollywood Hiplash. Both jammers in scoring position. Everybody's coming around. Too Legit's back out. Racing up, trying to catch the pack.
And Isabel calls it off.
So that gives the Kraken 9 points to Humboldt 0, 148-93. About 17 minutes left in the game. Doing work. We're seeing Riled Up against Hotbox. And it's a lonely moment. That looks like Rogue Rammer out there for SoCal as the only blocker at the moment. Riled Up helping up, a little defensive jamming, but it's not enough. 2 skaters out there. Hotbox picks up lead. Hotbox caught on lane 4 coming in by Rogue Rammer. That was a fantastic block catch. Riled Up's trying to take the inside line. Good.
Riled Up beat all the blockers.
As a heads-up play by Riled Up. Riled Up was on the inside line. Did the transition, looked at the ref, saw that there was no penalty, kept skating, and now 2 legit headed to the box with a track cut. Hotbox, excuse me.
Hotbox in the box.
So no lead. We're going 2 minutes on this jam.
Another great opportunity for SoCal to pick up some points and close this gap.
4 points so far for Riled Up. Nice turn. So Riled Up, that's 2 scoring passes so far, 8 points. Coming for more. Lane 3 to the outside lane 4. Humboldt defenders reforming in front. Offensive help comes. Hotbox back on that track and putting 4 in the
SoCal's
scoreboard.
Hollywood Hip-Lash just wrecking walls there, trying to get her jammer out.
Riled Up working the outside to the center. Hotbox knocked down. Turn 4 stays inbound, trying to move forward on points.
Hotbox throwing shoulders there and just dealing some star damage instead of taking star damage.
And that's the jam. 2 minutes. Hotbox able to put 4 points up on that pass. 3 points in the pocket for Riled Up. That's going to be an 11-3 jam, an advantage for the Kraken. On the jammer line in white for SoCal, Heartland. And we'll get a jammer in a little bit. Timeout called. Humboldt. I got a couple looks by the Humboldt jammers who were like, no, we'll come out in a little bit. Don't worry. Coach is calling a timeout. And as we're taking that timeout, want to go ahead and recognize one more time. It's a big achievement, deserves to be recognized in each half. Geo Knitter out there as an official, 700 games on that game resume. So thank you to all the officials out there, but in particular to the more resistant ones. More resistant, residual, more persistent. What am I looking for? I'll remember in the middle of the next jam. 5 seconds. Heartland. Atreyu.
Both jammers slamming into a very cramped pack there. Both jammers trying to find that hole that's going to get them through, that's going to get them lead. And from the rear, SoCal just bursts through and takes that lead.
Heartland able to pick up lead. Atreyu's coming. Both jammers in scoring position. All the blockers have their points on the track. Here we come into the pack.
Heartland grabs a few points and calls it off.
Heartland's going to get 2 points up. No points, Humboldt. Sprocket Rocket versus Isabel Ringer on the jammer line. SoCal's blockers for the moment, setting up toward the pivot line, cycling back to meet Humboldt's blockers on the jam line.
Isabel looking energetic and ready for this jam.
Isabel Ringer going to go ahead and try to add to the 66% lead percentage so far in this half. Sprocket Rockets outside line.
Gets
Picks
caught up
lead.
and grabs lead.
So got the lead, but knocked out of bounds. So recycled back through the whole pack again.
So she's in control of this jam, but she is not in a scoring position. So she calls it.
Sprocket Rocket was on turn 1, so away from the Humboldt, the Humboldt bench. Heard some shouting behind, turned around, looked at the coach, and heard, "Call it," and successfully did so. We've said it before, we'll say it again. Riled Up versus Too Legit. Too Legit outside line into the center. Riled Up takes advantage inside lane number 1. Picks up lead.
It looks like there's a little bit of confusion. Humboldt is not going to be fielding a pivot. Oh.
Big jammer off a defensive hit. Too Legit setup waiting for Riled Up. Riled Up came flying through with a legal shoulder block. A legal, not illegal, and a legal block.
A space
Yes,
legal.
thank you. I don't want anybody thinking I'm calling penalties because that is not my job. Too Legit coming around the curve, puts the pressure on. Jam is called off.
I just call the penalties in my heart. That's where I keep it. I keep it in my heart.
I'm just pulling for everybody. 1 point on the board for SoCal. Yeah, I'm a firm believer as a fan. Skaters can skate. Officials can officiate.
Haters can hate.
Haters can hate. I tend to leave it to them. PK rolling. Heartland on the jammer line. PK rolling uses
Soko doing a great job of keeping PK back. They're not really using quite the standard 3 wall, but kind of like a wall that's continuously moving, which is working very well.
So it looks like the pack split. There's going to be a destruction penalty against a Humboldt pivot. That's catastrophe. And that does release SoCal. Heartland's approaching. Calls the jam. No points on the board.
PK was just too close. Not enough time there to try to score points. So
Great
SoCal
pressure.
calls it.
The nice thing to see is that everything's kind of calmed down. In the beginning of this half, Humboldt had gotten lead 5 times, now 6 times going in for a bit. Had lost it 3 times with jammer penalties. That settled down, so we're not ending up with these 2-minute jams because of penalties. However, Humboldt has not put points on the board in the last 4 jams. Hotbox looked like headed to the box, was told to return to track, so going to have one heck of a running start to come into the defense.
Hotbox got a
False start.
false start.
Nice.
And then self-reported to the box, but the official was nice enough to instruct her to return to the track.
Might be a good strategy to use from now on. Hotbox has lead. Splitting through the 4 SoCal defenders. Isabel Ringer caught up. No points on the board for SoCal. And Hotbox is headed to the box after 4 points. Looks like a late penalty is going to go ahead and give SoCal a power start. Too Legit checks the penalty box, comes off the jam line. Oh, that is a correction. There are going to be no points for Humboldt on that pass. Riled Up, going to try to take advantage of the power start. SoCal, great hit. Actually had swept so far, they actually pushed a blocker out. So Riled Up takes the inside line, picks up lead, coming for points.
Another offensive sweep coming in. Maybe a little bit too early. Jammer wasn't able to really capitalize on it. And the jammer goes to the box.
We are going to go 2 minutes. No lead on the jam. Riled Up's going to have a seat for a low block. And that's going to go ahead and spring Hotbox back on the track.
Humboldt does a really nice sweep, pushing almost all the SoCal blockers off and into inside, giving Hotbox a nice, clean, almost 3 lanes on the outside.
Electric Piranha headed to the box as a blocker. Humboldt, one of the blockers, called the cut. The ref agreed. Hotbox now in, trying to take on the 3 remaining SoCal defenders. Gets the out of play, gets the points. Riled Up's back on the track. 3 Humboldt blockers in front. The tripod holds. Hotbox comes through. 4 points on the board.
Both teams back up to full strength now. Oh, nasty hit there, taken out of the Humboldt blocker.
Electric Piranha just reminding all the blockers, I'm back.
Yeah, she just came in with a fury there.
Knocked Hotbox out of bounds also. Recycled back to the defense. Riled Up back on the track as well from out of bounds. So the 2-minute jam. Riled Up handed the star. And that's the 2-minute jam. So that looks like 12 points for Humboldt. Going to see so, and there's 4 points. All right, 4 points up, so it's going to be 12-4. On the jammer line, we're going to see Heartland versus Atreyu. Kind of a take a small victory in a moment. So Rogue Rammer from SoCal took the star, was called on a penalty, however, so went to the box, was also called on an in-sub or misconduct. Went to the box, now serving 2 penalties, but was holding the star, and the star pass was called invalid, so we'll be sitting in the box as the pivot, but not giving a power startup. And we've got an official review. I believe that's, yep, Humboldt.
And as a correction, they did pull the in-sub, so she's just sitting for 30.
Perfect. Glad you caught that while I was trying to explain what happened.
I was trying to figure out what she got a penalty for, so I was right. I was in the right position.
The Humboldt cheering section doing a little work. Our track maintenance crew doing a little bit of work. And of course, always want to remind everybody in here, get your raffle tickets to get RollerCon tickets, MVP passes. Not too far here from lovely Tucson. You can go to lovely Las Vegas. All right, so the official review is done. We'll find out what happened in a bit here. But in the meantime, 2-2-2, Too Legit
Heartland.
up against Heartland.
Going to be a fast start off the jammer line.
Call that was made on the pivot saying that the start pass was legal, but the start pass happened after the blocker was penalized. So there was no start pass. Thank you.
All right, so we'll go into that official review in just a moment. At the moment, Too Legit. Unearned pass does not take lead, however, comes out first.
Nope, you got to pass all the blockers upright, and she passed that last one after getting knocked down.
Heartland trying to do exactly that. Recycle
nasty
back.
hit there. Looks like that's going to be a high block on the jammer.
Yep, Too Legit headed to the box. Slammerai up, but feeling it. Heartland coming through. 2 more to beat. Trying to split the hips.
Harlan trying to do a little swan dive between the jammer or the blockers there. Blockers held on tight though.
There's lead. SoCal.
Got lead, but got pushed out on the inside and has to be recycled, so she just calls it.
It's a good move there. Looks like Too Legit is standing, so that still did ice. What the official review earlier was Humboldt. It's something you won't hear often. Humboldt was actually trying to say that the SoCal Star Pass was successful. So they were disputing, saying that the Star Pass was successful. However, it was determined that the penalty happened before the Star Pass. Therefore, no legal Star Pass. Therefore, it was correct as it stood.
A lot of honor in the game of Derby.
Isabel Ringer on the power start for SoCal. Inside line on the sweep. Picks up lead.
Too Legit waits for, let's see what we're going to have here. Unsuccessful defense there from the jammer.
I do love a jammer who enjoys blocking. Not sure Too Legit enjoys it, but she's done it a few times, so Too Legit on the outside, swings the hips.
Oh, big hit, but manages to stay in. Another hit and manages to stay in, but picks up a forearm, giving another power jam to Isabel.
Margaret Bleed, the blocker for SoCal there, able to kind of force that penalty. So Isabel Ringer is lead and still maintains control of the clock on this jam. Pressing through, white jersey's in front, that's enough.
Nice sweep to push the Humboldt blockers out to the outside, giving Isabel at least 2 lanes on the inside.
It's great coordination by the SoCal blockers, just perfectly lining up on that inside, holding just enough so Isabel was free. Now Isabel working against 4 Humboldt blockers, a little offensive help coming in. Hotbox is back on the track though, so.
Too Legit.
Too Legit. They look so similar until you see the back of the head. Too Legit.
Going back to the box.
Knocked out of bounds to the inside of the track. Isabel Ringer still active, calls off the jam.
And that's going to freeze the Humboldt jammer for the whole 30 seconds.
So 2 points there for SoCal. And we're going to have another power start. This time Heartland with the star. Heartland coming in, blockers setting up on the pivot line, starting to pick up motion. Outside.
Heartland sneaks around the outside, takes a hit, goes to the toe stops and maintains.
Nice move by Nacho Amiga. Trying to go ahead and get the last second hit out with the hip swing. Heartland coming around from the inside to the outside. Heard the whistle.
Somebody's picking up a cut.
Yep. And I see a forearm also, so it looks like Humboldt's going to be sending a blocker to the box. Heartland is through. This is 3 straight leads.
Both jammers coming in. Pack speeding up. Heartland trying to grab some points here. Does she do it? She does not. But Too Legit sneaks in one.
Wow. And that 1 point for Too Legit, it looked like from this side, that was a SoCal blocker trying to make the knockout. Just got hips behind.
Sometimes it's more important just to not be a point.
High risk, high reward on the jammer line. Riled Up versus Atreyu. So direction penalty called against. And this is the 4th straight lead jam for SoCal with Riled Up in control. Atreyu's out of the pack. Everybody's
looking around. A little bit of a confusion there. Riled Up's coming in, scoring some quick points here, but facing off against a very determined Humboldt wall and calls it off.
Good call off, keeps Humboldt off the scoreboard. 3 points going up for SoCal. Isabel Ringer on the line against Sprocket Rocket.
50 seconds left on the clock. This very well may be the last jam.
Isabel Ringer telling the bench how much time is left on the clock, and it kind of made everybody turn and look at the clock. And we're off. Sprocket Rocket inside, goes down with a SoCal blocker.
And pulls a penalty.
Forearm penalty called. So we're going to see what Isabel Ringer can do with.
Oh, big pile up. Isabel Ringer takes advantage of it. Everybody goes down.
There it is. Oh.
Gets a no pass, no penalty, so she won't be picking up lead. Still has the power jam. SoCal tries to come in, do some offense there. Does break up the wall slightly. Isabel only has to go up against 2 blockers instead of 3.
That was a great move with the pack moving full speed. Slamurai knocked Swagger out from Humboldt out of bounds, which caused the pack to stop.
And Peaches and Scream pulls up a failure to reform.
So with this will be the last jam of the game. Isabel Ringer did not pick up lead. Sprocket Rocket picked up a penalty. This is going 2 minutes. We will not have a lead jammer.
Everybody's definitely leaving it out there on the track.
Pack split all over the place. Got an out of play in the front. Sprocket Rockets coming through for points. Isabel Ringer's in there for points.
Definitely nobody quitting.
No pack called. Everybody's back together. Better to reform. We've got 2 blockers to SoCal out of the box. There's a third one. That gives Sprocket 4 points to pass through. This is one of those jams. There's just a lot going on trying to keep track. Sprocket puts up 4 more points for Humboldt. And that's the 2-minute jam. That was fun.
Yes,
Can we
great
do that
effort
again?
from both teams.
So we're looking at an unofficial score. Humboldt 179, SoCal 128. Gonna see how that ends up.
That was an amazing bout.
So it was SoCal's first game of the weekend. SoCal unable to come in and play yesterday. Duke City also wasn't playing yesterday, so sometimes you got to do that with the travel when it's just close enough that you can only do the 2 days there. So SoCal puts up their first play. They're going to go ahead and play FOCO tomorrow at the 9 a.m. game, and then they're going to play Duke City at the 5 p.m. game. Again, times are always Pacific Standard over here. And with Humboldt getting the win, they're going to take on Duke City at 11 o'clock tomorrow. And that's going to be their final game. And that is the official final score. Humboldt Redwood Rollers 179, SoCal Derby and Kraken 130. Big thank you to Loose Change, our fantastic producer who's on top of it all there. My name is Party on Barth.
And I am Thrash Panda, as always.
Stick around. North Star versus B-Town in about 30 minutes or so.
Have a great rest of your day, Tucson.